This may look a little bit like a deja vu, because this microphone is not the LCT1040. Actually, this is my LCT1040. And although the pure tube looks the same as the 1040, it turns out looks can be deceiving. So how I see this new pure tube microphone from LEWITT is basically as an LCT 1040, but with all unnecessary clutter removed. And I think this can best be seen at the power supply of these microphones. If you look at all the different settings that you can dial in on the 1040, it is quite a lot. And if we compare this to the power supply of the pure tube, you'll see that there is nothing to control. Because the pure tube is a very straightforward cardioid tube microphone. And this is how it sounds compared to the LCT 1040 and a vintage Neumann U47.
I like to engage in risky behavior. One touch might give us relief. Tell me, what do I believe? I like to engage in misty behavior. One touch might give us relief. Tell me, what do I believe? I wish I was you, wish you were me. Let me see you at a glance, my eye raining dew. I wish I was you, wish you were me. Let me see you at a glance, my eye raining dew. Luckily I didn't harm you. Suddenly you did kill me by the idea of you being me. Luckily I didn't harm you. Suddenly you did kill me by the idea of you being me.
The song you just heard is a new song from Rhiannon, which is released today. If you want to listen to the full version, I'm going to link it in the description down below. All three microphones had the same preamps and the same processing. The processing I did on it was just adding a little bit of high frequencies, and I did some compression with the Herchild. Now my big question about this microphone is, why? Why would they make something like this? And I think LEWITT can answer that pretty well.
So our idea was to create a microphone that is very timeless and very premium. So when you want to, finally make that, let's say, microphone purchase of $1,000 plus, you want that all your money kind of goes into the sound, because a lot of people don't need all the bells and whistles of, low cut, polar pattern, attenuation, different sound modes. They just want a perfect vocal sound for them, something unique, something special, that kind of makes them feel good and make their sound stand out.
And because you didn't need some of those features, did that also create a few opportunities to change a few things in the circuits or build something else?
The opportunity is obviously the less features you build in, the more minimalistic you can go. So this is a tube microphone that doesn't have any semiconductors or capacitors in the signal path, which would be very difficult to do if you want to, do a lot more different feature sets. So that allows really the magic of the tube to shine and be something very unique and special.
And I think that's where the marketing term pure comes from, right?
yes, and also it's in the spirit of the LCT 440 Pure.
If I would compare the Pure Tube to the LCT 1040, the big flagship microphone, which, I mean, they look the same. But can I compare it in the same way as I would compare like a Primelens in photography with a Zoomlens? Because with a Zoomlens, of course, the picture quality is different because there are more layers of glass in between.
I think it's a fair comparison. We looked at it in a similar way, but slightly different, of the 1040 being like a Swiss Army knife that has a lot of capabilities. You can adapt to any situation. That was the goal for the LCT 1040, right? Any sound source, any scenario, you can adapt to it. Where the Pure Tube is more like a a specialized Japanese kitchen knife that you can only cut like one piece of or a vegetable or so. That's kind of a similar idea, yeah. And it is completely focused on high quality vocal sound with the tube magic and extremely low self noise.
Okay, that's all cool marketing talk, but what do I think? I mean, this thing costs €1,000, which, is a lot of money. But for a microphone, it's not that expensive. And it's not really fair to compare it to a vintage U47. But it also made me realize something. So the U47 is pretty well known around the world for its pretty specific sound character. And what is pretty clearly to hear in the demo is that LEWITT didn't try to imitate that sound character. What I think they did is really build the best tube microphone they could from the ground up. And it shows how far techniques have come since the 40s and 50s when the U47 was engineered. For instance, this microphone has a super low self-noise. You can really compress the shiznit out of it, to quote Warren Howard, which is kind of incredible for a tube microphone. Also, you will notice that this microphone is a lot cleaner than a U47. U47 really has some character. Apart from that, I do think that a microphone like this is more reliable than a vintage microphone. Vintage microphones are very reliable, but whenever you have some troubles with it, which, I mean, you will get because they are vintage, it is a lot of hassle to find somebody to repair it. If the tube of a U47 goes, you're basically, can basically throw the microphone away, because finding a VF14, the original tube, is kind of impossible. So comparing all that to the Pure Tube, I think it did a really great job. And what I found really interesting is that the sound is so much different from the 1040. And that's of course because of the better circuitry in there. But it also shows something else. And that is that price doesn't say anything about the sound of a product. When it comes to a very pure cardioid microphone, this thing outperforms a microphone that is 3 times as expensive. Now, if you want to listen a bit more deeply to the recordings that I made in this video, I will provide the raw recorded files to members. If you are an exclusive content member, you will find a community post or a post on Patreon, depending on which platform you're at, where you can download the files to play with yourself. If you're interested in buying a Pure Tube, consider using my affiliate links. I will link affiliate links in the description down below towards Thomann and Sweetwater. Those links are affiliate links. And what an affiliate link is basically if you decide to purchase this microphone or something else at Thomann or Sweetwater, after clicking that link, a little bit of your purchase gets kicked back to me. And that way you are supporting my videos without it costing you anything extra. I am in no way affiliated with LEWITT directly, and they have not paid anything for this video or whatever, and they are also not saying what I can or cannot say. All the costs associated to this video, the recording in Sound Vision Studio and all that kind of stuff, were paid by me out of pocket. So that's why I drop affiliate links whenever possible, and I'm only affiliated with shops, never with brands directly, and it's also the reason why I'm promoting my memberships. And as always, before you buy something, do your own research and never believe one source of information. There will be multiple videos about this microphone on YouTube where you can judge for yourself if it's a good purchase or not. And the cool thing about most shops is that you can return it after 14 days if you don't like it. Now, I hope I did a better job at disclosing it this time. If you like my videos and, want to check out more content, again, the memberships will be linked over here. You can also watch more videos of me. I'll link an interesting video over here. The algorithm will link that. I don't choose those videos. It's the algorithm. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, keep pushing, and bye bye.